Our car coughed a pathetic sputter, the needle on the gas gauge trembling precariously near empty. Sweat prickled on my arms despite the cool mountain air seeping through the cracked windows. We were adventurers on a road trip, celebrating Alex's birthday with a dream getaway to the secluded paradise of the Batanes of the North in Kaunayan, Luzon. Now, however, adventure had become a tense scramble for survival. "Looks like we pushed our luck a bit too far, fellas," announced Carlos, our driver and resident daredevil. A nervous chuckle escaped my lips, more out of a habit than amusement. There was no signal here, and the map had promised no gas station for another few kilometers. Then, like a mirage shimmering in the heat haze, a beacon appeared. A red and white sign emblazoned with a familiar gasoline pump logo stood proudly on the side of the road. Relief washed over me in waves. The gas station, however, was eerily quiet. No cars filled the pumps. No attendants greeted us with friendly smile. We pulled up to the lone pump, the silence pressing down on us like a physical weight. An aged bell above the convenience store door chimed as we enter. Inside, dust motes danced in the dim light, and a cloying sweetness hung in the air. Behind the counter stood a woman, her back to us. She was tall and slender, her hair like a mix of black and silver strands that seemed to absorb the little light there was. We said, "Magandang araw po." We greeted politely. The woman slowly turned, and her face was obscured by the shadows cast by a wide-brimmed hat. Yes, she was wearing a hat inside the store. A coldness emanated from her that sent shiver down my spine. "What can I help you with?" Her voice was a dry whisper, like leaves rustling in a forgotten graveyard. We grabbed essentials, snacks, water, and a new map, just in case, and as Carlos settled the bill, I noticed that the date scrolled on the receipt was 1978. I was a little bit confused, and I thought they might have been using a very, very outdated receipt stamper or printer, perhaps. But there was indeed a cold dread crept in my stomach, and I don't know why. We grabbed the essentials, back to our car, and Sarah inspected her candy bar. She said, "This thing expired in 1982?" she shrieked, her voice laced with nervous laughter. It was pretty peculiar. The engine wouldn't turn over. Carlos cursed, fiddling with the ignition. Panic started to claw at the edges of my comm. Just then, the lights flickered and died, plunging us into the darkness. Did I even forgot to mention that we're actually driving in the middle of the night? So it was very eerily dark and quiet. "Guys," Alex whispered, and his voice tight with fear. "Look outside." A blood-red glow emanated from the gas station, casting grotesque shadows on the building's facade. The woman stood at the window, and her face contorted in a horrifying grin, like her eyes are glowing embers. Our haven had become a trap. We scrambled out of the car, and the silence broken only by the frantic pounding of our hearts. The woman emerged, and her laughter echoing eerily through the night. Suddenly, Sarah screamed. Her hand was clasped tightly in the bony grip of an unseen force. Thinking fast, I grabbed a lighter from my pocket and flicked it open. The tiny flame illuminated a horrifying sight. It was a skeletal hand with long yellowed nails digging into Sarah's wrist. "Get back!" I yelled. brandishing the lighter like a weapon. The ghostly hen recoiled with a hiss, and the woman's laughter morphing into a guttural snarl. Taking advantage of the distraction, we sprinted towards the darkness beyond the gas station's perimeter. We just don't know where to go, but one thing we knew, that we just gotta get out far away from the gas station. The glow from the building pulsed, casting long, grasping shadows that seemed to follow us. We ran blindly. I mean, like we literally don't know where to go. Our lungs are burning, our legs are screaming in protest, but the ground beneath us turned rough and uneven, signaling the end of the paved road. We're so exhausted that we stumbled to the halt, and we just collapsed onto the damp earth. We stayed there, holding each other's hands, trembling. Dawn's first light broke. It painted the night sky with streaks of pink and orange. We are a mess. Dirty, bruised, but one thing's good. We're alive. Looking back, the gas station was gone. It's just an empty road stretching into the distance and a faint scent of mildew hanging in the air, a chilling reminder of the night's horror. We flagged down a passing truck, and the driver's eyes was really wide at our disheveled state. He eventually took us to the nearest town, a place that, according to him, that had never had a gas station. We never reached the Batanes of the North that weekend. The encounter of the phantom gas station had left an inedible mark on us. It was a stark reminder that some detours are best avoided, and some havens hide a darkness far worse than being stranded. That's all for today.